Hello. So, time for an update. Finally, all done. Basically, the issue I was having with it was to do with the mortar, and this time round, I mixed it for much longer. Probably mixed it for like 10 minutes, and I added a bit more plasticizer and much more water. That seems to have done the trick. It lasted quite a while. It was still pliable all the way through the whole process. I put a little bit of water on it once. That's about it. So, and I had the exact amount of cement mixed. Literally finished it all off. Just, as you can see, that's all I've got left, which is like a few little bits. Nothing on the table. Yeah, very happy with that. Very pleased. So, yes, it's not perfect, but it does the job. Like I said, it definitely does the job. So, if I get down, spin you around, and you can have a detailed look. It's not perfect by all means, but is it looking okay from a distance? Yes, it is. I mean, when you look at it from a distance, it actually looks alright. And I mean, the brick itself, it's not a perfect match by all means, but this is the closest I could find, because there's two different types of bricks already. This is the main house bricks. That's the extension bricks. I actually really like that. I kind of wish I'd gone for something like that, but I can't seem to find it. I've looked everywhere. I even tried to do like a match and stuff. People that provide brick matching service, they couldn't. So it is what it is. Right, next, take this window out. That's the next job. So we're just going to leave this to dry out. By the way, the reason this looks the way it does, because originally I was actually not going to basically go into each of the brickwork. I wasn't going to remove it, the halves, and I was just going to do exactly like that. But then I thought, do you know what? It's much better, and it will give me a stronger wall as well to tie it into the existing wall. So after that point, I was like, do you know what? No. Let's start removing each brick, or half bricks, and just tie it straight in. Obviously, this side is the main house, so you can't really do that on this side. So that's the reason that's left out the way it is. Right. So like I said, next job is this window. So from what I can, excuse me for a sec, from what I can work out, it's removed from outside, because these are the trims. I'm pretty sure it's removed from outside. So I'm going to have a go at removing the glass first. I mean, to be honest, it's not going to take much, because if you look at the rubber, it's already peeled. It's already taken out. I mean, on the outside it ain't too bad. On the inside it's already gone. Look, there especially. It's not even doing its job anymore. So I think this is going to be very easy to remove. So let's crack on and get this over and done with. Whoop whoop. Right, just preparing to remove this window. And on the inside we've got the fridge freezer and the fridge freezer sitting on, and there was also a worktop going across there earlier, but I removed that now. And there was some odds and sods underneath here, cleared it all up. So now I've got to move these fridge freezers to the other side of the room, and they're going to sit over there. I'm going to put them on top of each other, these two little ones, and the big one can go in the corner, and it should be okay. They should all fit there, and there's power over there as well. So which means I can remove everything else that is here, so that I can get on with this window removal. This is going to be messy. Yeah. Alright, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. So I'm in the process of removing this window, right? So I'll show you how to remove this, because this is an old school one. On the inside, so this is rubber seal. It's quite big and long. This is for this big window, or biggish. And then here is where it sits in the seal all the way around. Right, you remove that first, because this window gets removed from outside, not inside. Which is not a very safe way of having a window in the first place, which is a bit stupid in my opinion, but anyway. So I've got a chisel, sharp edge, so you just do this and just lift, and that's pretty much it. That's how it comes up. But at the moment the glass is actually sitting on it, so I'm going to have to do the top one first, left one after, pull the glass out, and then the bottom one last. So that's what we're going to do. Show you while I'm doing it, if I can. That'd be great. That's it, and it's out. That's it, as simple as that. Throw that down there, and we'll just switch hands and push down. No, I'm doing it left-handed. It's not going to work, is it? That's it. Undo it from the bottom instead. Seems to work. We need it there. Come on, young mate. There we go. Yeah, boy. Right, so if we try and lift it from the bottom or from the middle, we'll just zoom out. It'll be better. There we go. And she's out. Right, so if we put that down there as well, get rid of the whoops, and look at that, glass just pulls straight out. It's quite heavy, so I'm going to do this by two hands, so 1 second. Alright, here we go. Removed. Both glasses are there, and we've got one more little glass to remove this one. Now what I don't understand is, how is this fixed to the wooden frame? So I don't see any screws, nothing. Oh, hold on. Oh no, that's the bottom one, isn't it? So actually I'm going to leave that in. Yeah, leave that. I'm not that fussed about that. The strange thing is, literally there's no nails, screws, nothing. So how is it fixed to the wood? Was it glued in or something? Well, that's a bit stupid, if that's the case. Not safe in any shape or form. I mean, you undo the window frame and there's nothing. Literally nothing. The only thing I can see is these rivets that hold the hinges in place, and that is it. But on this side there's no hinges anyway, so how's it fixed? Let me know in the comments if you know. Be interesting to know, because obviously I'm going to find out. They've ripped the whole thing out regardless, so I'm going to rip it out from the wooden frame, but it will still be ideal to find out how it's put together, because anyway, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. So I'll show you quickly how this rubber seal is on the inside. This is how you just pull it out. Just pry it at one end, some kind of pick or something, and that's it. It's out. Simples. Whoop, whoop. What the hell? For a moment I thought the glass was going to drop down, but it shouldn't, because it's not fixed. It's still fixed on the frame. Right, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. Right, just found the fixing screws. They're on the inside. So they're brackets that are holding it in place all the way around. So literally, yeah, some of them are Phillips screws. Actually, mostly they're Phillips screws. The bottom ones are all rusty, so I'll see what I can do about them. The rest of them should come apart all right. Right, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. And there it is. It's out. Wasn't that bad. After you got all the brackets out, as you can tell, there's 4 on the long side, 2 on the short sides, and they were just screwed into this timber frame. And if you remember, on one of the videos I might have mentioned that this used to leak before we installed this roof, and I'm assuming it was leaking because of this timber frame. It must have been sipping down and straight in, and it would actually collect all the water across this bit here. In fact, once we remove this, we're going to see how bad it is underneath. So I'm pretty sure it's rotted really badly. Right, so the next job is to remove this big timber frame, and from what I can see, that might be a nail. Flathead screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. I don't see anything on top at all, which makes me think they're nails. We're just gonna have to get a crowbar on it. Screw there. Possibly. Hello. I think that's a nail. Yeah, it definitely looks like a nail. That's also a nail. So the rest of them must be nails. There's about 3 screws and the rest of them are nails. So if I undo all the screws, that'll give me a better chance of whacking it out eventually with a hammer and bolster or something like that. Pry bar, crowbar, whatever I can get on it basically. Anything goes at this moment in time. Right, let's roll. Whoop, whoop. Right, so for now, I've just boarded it up. So I'm going to continue in the morning. To be fair, it's inside my garage, so it's not like someone will have to go past those roller shutters to get in here, and then they'll have to break in here. So it's a bit of a winded, long way of doing it basically. So at least that will keep the heat in as well. Not that it's cold, but still. Right. See you in the morning. Whoop whoop. Hi, welcome back. So it's now the next day, and removing this window frame is what I'm doing at the moment. And there's one piece down there. I've used a reciprocating saw to cut it and then remove it that way, because otherwise I'll be battling myself. As you can tell, there's 2 fat nails at the top there, which means they pre-made this this window frame and then basically put it in place and screwed it in place. So there's a couple of nails, one on each of those. So I'm just going to work my way all the way around and rip it out. Eventually should come out, hopefully. And you can tell here. So I'm going to end up ripping out these half bricks. Those half bricks will definitely come out. I'm going to have to take off this little cowling thing so I can gain access to those half bricks over there. Alright, let's crack on. Whoop. Right, so as I was removing that timber frame, the bricks at the top started coming apart. So I need to remove those first, which means more bricking. Great. I am so looking forward to it. Not that's already loose, so I've got that loose, but need to try and remove those bricks safely without every single one dropping to the fucking ground, because that would make a lot of noise, one, and two, it's heavy, very heavy, so I don't really fancy that coming down on my leg or anything like that, you know. So I'm going to try and remove it. That's why I put the wood back up, to support the weight. In fact, no, I can't, I've cut that in half. I was going to reuse that, there's no point. I need to jack it up with something so that it supports the bricks while I've removed them. So I need to put another support there to take the weight. Right, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. Rightio. So now we've got this temporary support on that bar, and that should hold the weight of those bricks while I'm removing it. And then let's go from there. Crack on. Whoop, whoop. Taking a little lunch break, and I've decided to cut some steak up, as I do. These are like 1.5 inch. I've just cut them up. I had a whole ribeye and I've cut it into pieces, and I'm going to try and cook it on the George Foreman. Why not? The good thing is you get heat from both sides, so I'm thinking that it might actually work out alright. And I'm going to use my meter thermometer to keep an eye on the temperature and see how we go. Let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. So we're just searing the sides first. Seems to be sizzling away, so it's going to be cooking. Well, it's doing something. I think I'm going to cook about 3 of them, considering the size of them. Yeah. Sear the sides first, then we'll put them flat. Oh, just about to fall that one. Let's have a look. Well, it's not a perfect sear, but it's a sear. Maybe if I just push down a bit, that'll be a bit better. Yeah, that's definitely helping, I would say. It's getting there. Okay. And if we flip it the other way around and sear this side as well, put a bit of pressure on it. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to come out. Alright, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. Exactly the way I like it. Nice and pink on the inside and seared on the outside. I feel awesome. Whoop, whoop. Just wanted to show you guys how good and amazing this steak is just cooked. Absolute perfection. And the way it feels in your mouth, it just falls apart. It's like heaven. I mean, if I knew exactly what heaven was like, this is how it would be in my mind. So good. Like, it's just so soft and succulent. Unreal. Oh. That's my little dance that I do when I'm happy with food. Whoop, whoop. So we're now on the inside, and so where we took out the window, there's a radiator below it. So I've used the radiator brackets to actually put up this board to stop crap from coming inside. And that's my temporary lighting over there that goes across the whole ceiling all the way around. So that's plugged into there. Previously it was actually over there sitting on top of the counter. Obviously we moved that now, so I had to use bungees and stuff and just pull it to one side so it's out of the way. And so we just finished our lunch break, and we can crack on with the work that needs doing. So let's go around to the other side and let's get on with it. Whoop, whoop. So we're now back from after our lunch break, and this is how far we got with the removal of this old window. Now taken off all the top bricks that were facing that way. As you can see, there's a lintel there, so we need to leave that lintel in situ. That's the plan. And then I'm going to remove at the bottom. We've got nice perfect bricks to start off with, so that's great. But I am going to remove this middle section all the way through. The reason for that is I want to keep the cavity as a cavity. I mean, the other worst bad thing is that when you look down there, previous people who built the actual house left a shitload of crap inside the cavity. That's so silly of them. There's me trying to make sure when I'm bricking not to pour anything down there, and these idiots, whoever they were, decided to put shitloads of it in there instead. Excellent, perfect, that's all we need, isn't it? Anyway, at least at the top we're clear. Looking at it, yeah, that seems quite clear. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do next is go ahead and take all these sides out on both sides, and then go from there. Right, let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. Come Paul, let's go. Alrighty. Very dusty. Beautiful. Whoop, whoop. Alrighty, so let's give you an update on what's going on with this hole, let's call it. So this is how it looks at the moment. Let me just run you through. I was having a little break because I've been using the breaker quite a lot, so can't use that for long periods of time. So as you can see, half bricks are all out up to that point. Now I don't know what to do with that, because that's the old boiler's flue. Now eventually it's going to come out and get bricked off anyway. That's the plan with that. However, saying that, I was thinking of putting the aircon unit there on the back of this, like over there in the cupboard, but then it would blow the hot air into the garage, so I don't really want to do that, especially in the summer. It's going to get baking hot in here. Probably not a good idea, so I'll definitely block that off regardless. But I think for now I'm just going to rip all those bricks out, especially those half ones all the way around that flue. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll rip them out and I'm just brick up to that point, and then just leave the rest of it until I've removed the boiler. Once the old boiler comes out, then I'll just continue bricking it up and then join it onto that end, remove that those half ones as well, and then just butt it all the way through. So I removed, right, so we're gonna have to remove that this one as well. So we're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those. Oh no, 4 isn't it? 5. No, it's 5. Can't even count. So as you can tell, this is all done, ready to get bricked up. It's a bit loose, that I can literally see it. So yeah, we don't want that. We don't want anything loose. Definitely not. But if you look down, some of these bricks are protruding too much. But I don't really want to play around with it a lot, because some of them are literally like quarter bricks. I don't want to disturb anything on the other side. It's already plaster. Well, it's old plaster anyway. I mean, some of it is already shot anyway. You can tell, look, it's separated away from there already. So it's not a bad thing, I suppose, to actually remove it altogether, I suppose. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Over here, I cleaned up the cavity, so cavity's nice and free now. I am going to leave that like that. The reason for that is because of the air brick. So you've got an air brick there to allow ventilation for the cavity. Therefore, that's definitely going to stay like that. We're not doing anything about that. I've done the top part, and I've just got to do that bit there. If I can get that out, that'd be great, because then I can continue the run of just running the bricks in there. And also I've cracked this one so I've had to remove that all the way rather than like the rest of them. I mean, it does happen. One ain't too bad out of all of them. This one decided to leave the chat, so that one we're just gonna reinstate. I think it's this brick here actually. Yeah, that's the cleanest one, so it must be that one. What I don't understand is, why did they put these bricks upside down? I mean, to me it doesn't make sense, but apparently it does to some people. Right, so next job is to remove this lot. Remove that lot and one up there, and that's it, we're all wrapped up. If you look at the top though, there's a small crack along the mortar on the joints. Those two are cracked right at the top, but I'm going to leave them in, and then once I cement, I'm hoping that it will just stay. Well, at the moment it's staying, so and I did wobble it about a bit to see if it's loose. It's not that loose, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And I've used this board here to stop anything from going further down. Not like some people just leaving shitload of crap underneath. What makes it worse, this is meant to be a ventilation brick. I'm not even sure if, when you look below there, let's see, let's have a quick look. Yeah, so much bricks at the bottom. That air brick is probably doing absolutely nothing. It is most likely blocked up with the bricks. And to be fair, they are bricks rather than sand, so there's going to be some kind of ventilation through it. Air is going to move around, but not freely, that's for sure. Anyway, let's crack on with it. Whoop, whoop. So a bit of an issue here where that lintel is being held by those two bricks there, and you've got half a brick there as well. It's so silly, such a crappy design. So I've got the grinder out. I'm going to grind off just this section here to the left and leave the rest of it in until I remove the boiler. Once the boiler comes out, then I'm going to break off the rest of it anyway, and enough to support this with a strong boy, and then re-brick the whole lot going that way. So yeah, lots of fun. Let's crack on. Whoop, whoop. Right, another update. So we now cut this brick up. You can see it's clear. It clears that brick over there, so that I can still keep bricking. It won't stop me from doing what I need to do. It's a bird. What the hell does that sound? Right, so it's now time to clean up. Make space for myself because it is filthy on the floor. A lot of broken bricks and stuff. So you need to clear up, get a wheelbarrow. And I've also removed this I suppose it's like a shroud or whatever it is, some kind of metal grill from the end of the flue for the boiler, so that it gives me a bit more room. I can see much better all the way around it now. So yeah, let's clean up and crack on. Whoop whoop.